The creativity perspective on what we think and believe. In looking at the origin of thought when viewed through the creativity perspective, the journey of exploration of our creativity revealed thought forms from the energy we sense at some level of our being, and our mind then characterizes that energy into thoughts. Mind characterizes and converts the energy we sense into thoughts through our creative imagination. Our creative imagination uses, based on what we think and believe, the experiences we've had in this and previous existences, our current environment, how we have focused our attention and awareness, and our underlying intention, which we hold with some passion, desire, or will to make happen. Each of these aspects are influencing the characterization of energy into thoughts. By varying one or more of these aspects, we can change the thought which is generated by a given energy. This discussion is about what we think and believe. It is not a comprehensive discussion. Rather, it is presented as an introduction to become aware how what we think and believe influences the thoughts we create. This is about observing how and what you believe, and how open is your perception to expanding and creating a new way of thinking and believing that better serves yourself. Believing is about beliefs. To believe in something is to have trust, have faith, or conviction in something, or accepting something, whether it is right or wrong, or correct or incorrect. Whether we confirm a thought in some way, it becomes a belief. The question is, how do we confirm the thought to turn it into a belief? Humans are raised to believe in what our caregivers give us, to accept what the teachers tell us, and accept what those in authority tell us. Or we accept what we see occurring in the world and accept what we see. Rarely do we question what we are given and see. If we desire to hold our creativity sacred and desire to create new thoughts, we need to begin to question our beliefs. Does what we believe really serve our personal truth, or at some level do we deny our truth for whatever reason we can give? When we look to hold our creativity sacred, we find that we can have empowering beliefs, limiting beliefs, and disempowering beliefs. In addition, we can find that beliefs can be layered. Thoughts can be seen to exist in a hierarchy, especially in relationship to value. The more profound the thought, the more it deals with fundamental values one has. A fundamental value is a value upon which many other values depend. That is, there are fundamental beliefs and other beliefs we hold dependent on the fundamental beliefs. Religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, program beliefs from childhood as to how creation works or how we should be in the world, loyalty beliefs, and other deep-seated beliefs that determine in some way how we live our life tend to be the hardest beliefs to change and usually the most fundamental. A simple example is you have a financial advisor for several years who you determine to be trustworthy and a good investor. They convince you to engage in certain investments with all your savings for long-term gains. Then, after a year or two, you find out that this advisor was taking illegal personal gains as kickbacks from where he convinced investors to put their money, including your money. Although your investments had not been going as you planned, but seemed satisfactory, you now question if the investments were sound and you were simply deceived. The trust in that financial advisor was a fundamental belief relative to all your investment decisions and your belief in their adequacy. One thing that is to be noted is that questioning a limiting belief normally does not create doubt about the belief. The doubt will most probably reduce the power of the belief. Any limiting belief that we adopted and imposed on ourselves and challenge it, we allow ourselves to break free of the limitation imposed on us by that belief. Returning to the investor above, you may begin to see your own ideas about where to invest would have been better. The limiting belief you are now challenging is that you are not a good investor. In letting it go, you find yourself much wiser financially than you had initially imagined. This also brings up the understanding, a belief you adopt for whatever reason versus a belief that you know is true for you as a result of having an experience. However, this assumes that you have a correct interpretation of the experience you had. Experiences that you have had and your mind has improperly interpreted for whatever reason become very hard to change. It is not uncommon for these types of beliefs to only be changed as a result of some painful demonstration the experience was not properly interpreted. What needs to be understood here is when faced with an experience, our mind looks to what we believe about the experience or beliefs about similar experience and how we respond. If we are faced with a financial investment decision for being seemingly betrayed by the investment advisor, we would have gone to them for advice. Now, after seemingly betrayed, thought we have is looking for the best choice of doing it by oneself, going back to the seemingly betraying advisor, or seek another new advisor. Changing that belief about the seemingly betraying advisor changes thoughts we have about investing. Facing options obviously takes us into the realm of thinking. Thinking is varied. It may be having a particular belief about something, like about investing, or could be connecting ideas, for example, connecting the idea of investment returns are not high with the idea of changing the investment. Or thinking may be about directing our mind towards exploring something like exploring the variety of potential investment options. Thinking then moves to looking at something in the mind and viewing in various ways or looking at the various aspects of investing. Then again, it is thinking to remain silent with your opinion when your friend is telling you how to invest. Thinking is reflection, recalling information, organizing anything, learning something new, or about manipulating thoughts or ideas. Moving into the realm of creative thinking is about generating thoughts that are innovative, unconventional, whether they are useful or not. The ability to create mental representation of objects, places, events, or people is thinking, as in the imaginative play of a child or someone brainstorming. Here the question is, how do we think? Given all the different ways we can think, what is the normal way we think? Do we continually roll or turn something over in our mind and reluctant to make decisions? Or do we choose quickly without paying attention to the facts or looking at potential options? Do we dwell on poverty and lack, or are we thankful for what we have even if we appear not to have all that we think we need? What needs to be understood, we change our life by changing our thinking. When we change our thinking, our thoughts become different, and then so do the actions we take on the thoughts we have. All the forms of thinking have their purpose. It's not about one way of thinking better than another. Thinking is about how we take what we believe and project and or act on what we believe. The question is, do we empower ourselves for whatever it is we desire? If we pay attention to the thoughts we have, what do we see? Do we see thoughts of lack and poverty, or do we see possibilities of abundance? Do we see ourselves being served by the thoughts we have? What needs to be understood, we do not think thoughts. Rather, they arise by both the beliefs and the space we create for them to arise. How we have focused ourselves creates the space, and we do so by how we organize those beliefs in a mindset and how we think. Our mindset is just our way of organizing our beliefs. The same beliefs can be arranged to give different mindsets, but if we change one of our beliefs, we can expect any previous mindset containing that belief to change. The more fundamental belief that is changed, the greater the mindset is changed. If we change the way we think, we will change our thoughts. If we change our mindset, that is how we hold our beliefs, we change our thoughts. If we change our thoughts, our mindset changes, and again, we change our thoughts. In the end, it doesn't really matter if the model and or the mindset we use to explain the universe or anything else ultimately works or fails. The question is, does our model, our mindset, our understanding allow us to explain and integrate all that we are seeing and experiencing to continually grow and expand? Do we hold our creativity sacred and our freedom to explore options? Here, the recommendation is to eat and digest all that you take into your mind. Keep what serves you and your truth and discard the rest. Do your own experiments and see which beliefs and ways of thinking really serve you, your truth, and help you create a life worth living.